Welcome to Module 6 of our course, Profit, Growth, Wealth Solutions for Small Business, brought to you by smallbusinessplantoprofit.com. Now in this short session we're just going to have a look at what I think are the three major rules for creating wealth from your business. And where we're at now is we're at step 3 of our Profit, Growth, Wealth Solutions for Small Business, creating personal wealth. We've looked at the ways to improve the profit performance of your business and how that leads into the structuring of your business for growth and to increase the value of the business from there. Now out of both of those two stages, what we're now driving for is that ability to create personal wealth for you as the small business owner. I've got three rules for creating personal wealth out of a business, and the first one is that you need to create a mindset that your business owes you more than a living. And by that I mean that you should be earning more than just a basic wage from all the efforts that you are putting into running your business. You need to at least pay yourself commercial wages. When you first start out in business, your first aim should be to generate at least enough income, be it through wages or through a share of profit, to replace the salary and wages that you're earning prior to going into that business. But that should be a very early aim and a number one step to try and tick off. At the very least, your business needs to be paying you a commercial wage, and that is if you had to pay someone else to do your job, to work 60, 70, 100 hours a week, take on the stress of organising the business and all the financial risks that come with that as well, what wage or salary would you need to pay a manager to do your job? That is what I call a commercial wage. So you need to get your business to the point where it is at least paying yourself a commercial wage. As we go through into the next module, we'll look at valuing a business, and I'll show you there that the level of appropriate commercial wages is reflected in the valuation of the business. So if you're not paying yourself a commercial wage, don't think that is going to increase the value of your business when you come to sell it because you think your profit looks higher than it should be. I will show you that will actually be adjusted out, and the value of your business will be based on a commercial wage. So if a future buyer is going to value the business based on commercial wages, you owe it to yourself to at least be paying yourself those commercial wages. The second thing when it comes to the business paying you some money is that you've got to realise that you have invested your personal capital into this business. It has cost you money to initially set up the business, and no doubt you've been reinvesting profits in growing the business as well. Now you should expect a return on investment for your money. You could have elected to put that money in the bank and generate some interest. You could have elected to buy shares or buy property with the income or the capital at least that you've put into this business, but you have made a conscious decision to invest it into your business. Your business owes you a return. That return should reflect the level of risk that's assessed to be in your business. If you're able to get 2%, 3%, 5%, 8% in a reasonably risk-controlled environment, then your business probably owes you twice that. So if you get 8% in a reasonable investment, then perhaps your business should be paying you 15 or 16%. We'll look at that again in the next module when we start to look at valuing a business. So my first rule for creating personal wealth in a business is just to create that mindset, that understanding that your business owes you more than just a living. Pay yourself commercial wages and generate a proper return on investment. The second mindset, or the second rule that I think we need to have in running a business, is that by all means we need to maximize that value of the business. We need to try and create a business that can sell for a maximum value when it comes time to exit. But I don't believe you should rely on the sale of your business to fund your retirement. It may come to pass that your business at the time of sale may actually be worthless. How could that happen? Well, look, we're seeing a lot of changes in the world at the moment that could certainly make any business worthless at the end of the day. Demographic changes are coming, and we're seeing that with, say, perhaps some of the retail businesses around the place, some of the manual businesses around the place, where the baby boomer generation really made their wealth and staked their claim in the world on running those type of businesses. Some of the newer generations coming through, the Gen Ys, the Gen Zs, the Naughties, are perhaps looking at that and saying, I don't want to do that type of work. I'm not going to do that type of work, in which case they might not be prepared to buy the business that requires such a investment of time and effort. Consumer demands are moving all of the time, and if we just look what's happening in the internet world, in cyberspace at the moment, there are a lot of bricks and mortar businesses that will go out of business over the next 5 years, 10 years, as more and more consumer purchasing power moves to the internet environment, to the online environment. So consumer choice, and also we're seeing the greening of the world as well. There may well be a number of dirty industries or non-environmentally friendly businesses which may well go to the wall as a result of changes in consumer behaviour. We've all been through the economic crisis of the last couple of years, so we're certainly well aware that economic changes keep coming onto us as well. So for all of those reasons, I don't believe that you can run your business with an absolute surety that you can sell it for a reasonable price when it comes time to exit. Generational transfers or succession plans, where you're looking perhaps to grow this business and being able to pass it down to your children at the end of the day, in my experience, they rarely occur at market value. So again, if you're not creating personal wealth outside of the business structure itself, but you have this plan to pass the business down to the next generation, you're going to run into a double jeopardy, I guess. You don't want to saddle your children with an enormous debt. You want to give them a nice start into the business, but at the same time, you do need to be able to fund a reasonable retirement for yourself. So you really need to balance all of that off. So the rule here, at least, is I think what I try and get my clients in my offline role to focus on is use the income that you're generating out of the business, use the profits where they're available that you're generating in your business to create personal wealth away from the business structure. If we can sell the business at the end of the day for a huge sum, fantastic. That's just the cream on the cake. But I don't think we should be running our life with a view that we will definitely be able to achieve that at the end of the day. We need to do a bit of both. My third rule for creating personal wealth is just an understanding that retiring with the right amount of money takes a lot of planning. You can't just wake up one day and say, I think I'm going to retire, or I'm going to retire even in 12 months' time, and expect that the right amount of money is going to be there for you. It takes time and it takes planning. So what you need to understand is how much income and capital you're going to need in retirement, what sort of time frame you're going to be able to fund, you're going to have to fund your retirement for, and how much time do you need prior to retirement to generate the amount of retirement capital that you may need. And we'll cover this off in future modules here as well, that we'll start to get an understanding of what sort of income and capital may be required, and how you can go about in building up that capital. And it's all about developing a strategic investment plan. And I use the term here, strategic investment plan. I use the word strategic here because I think too often most of us have a very ad hoc approach to our investing. This year we might have a little bit of surplus money, so we might put it into the bank, or we might buy some shares and stocks. What we really need to understand is that we're going to retire, say, in 15 years' time. In 15 years' time we need $2 million worth of capital put away. That means we need to invest, say, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year and generate an income return of 7 or 8%, whatever it might be. So we need to be strategic about how we're putting all of this together. So just a short module here, just outlining what I think are the 3 important rules for creating personal wealth in a business. We'll move now on to module 7, where we'll look at how you go about valuing a business for sale.